Lexi, what are you doing?
Lexi.
Oh, this is my bum. Or my bench up there. Hi guys. Abby's here as well. And her friend Lexi. And Abby's here to introduce her new YouTube channel. Yes.
It's Fluffy Socks and Me, but different name and different videos.
Well, so different
channel,
what's the new name?
Do you want to say it together? 3, 2, 1. They're best friends.
No, the best friends. So if you've got children around from about 6 to 12, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any age at least.
Or grandkids or nieces, nephews, God knows what else. Get them to tune into the channel. I'll put the link in the description box below.
Thanks.
And a quick little link there. So that's a plug now for Abby and Lexi's YouTube channel. So Abby's had a YouTube channel for a while now, but she's developing into a better channel apparently, isn't that it?
Yes.
And she's got her best friend with her.
It's better because I'm in it.
I asked this on our first video, but I'm gonna ask it here. If you know how to delete videos, comment, please. I need to know because I want to delete the old videos.
They look.
I know how to do that, sweetheart.
Oh,
I'll
okay, just edit us that.
Yeah, I'll sort out your videos for you in a while. So anyway, lads, welcome to another Monday Bum.
Woo!
I've had a busy enough week. I've got the Ferdinand finished off.
Hands off.
And I've started on the Zvezda again. With the
Back on it, aren't ya?
Yep, the T14 Armata, which is a massive box. Excuse me there. But let me get this.
Lex is like bending his back.
It's this kit here. Massive box.
Where'd you get that now?
I get them from England. I get them online.
Model hobbies.
Yeah, well, it varies. It varies wherever I can get them. And that's it. I'm going to kick the two of them out in a second. And the build for that, the unboxing is already up, and the rest of the build for that is fabulously. I'm thrilled with this. It's been sponsored. Yeah, sponsored by an online hobby store in the US, TCG Raptor.
Thank you.
So thank you very much to TCG Raptor for sponsoring that video, which is coming very, very handy. Anybody out there who wants me to sponsor a video of companies, that is, just drop me an email. I'll let you know. So anyway, lads, let's get down to the bench and see what I've gotten done through the week. And we'll finish that, then we'll get back to myself.
She told me the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
So let's get onto the bench. Let's get the update underway.
New people.
Okay, so here we are down at the bench, and we start off with this. This is the Zvezda's 1/35th scale Ferdinand, which is called after young Mr. Porsche there, Ferdinand Porsche, and it was a fabulous model to make. It really, really was. It just, I wouldn't say it fell together. There was a little bit of modelling involved, which is good. I mean, to a certain degree, I hate models that kind of just fall together. It means there's nothing there really for you to do. You know, I like a bit where you got to kind of work a bit and fiddle a bit to get it to fit and things like that. Not overly so. Not like, say, the old Airfix kits where you got to do an awful lot of work. You know, but just a little bit of shaving here and there to get them to fit in nicely. I don't mind that. Not as long as you're not doing it on every piece. It's just the odd little piece. But overall, this was a very enjoyable kit to make, I must admit. Really enjoyed making this. As you can see, it's based on the Porsche Tiger. Young Mr. Ferdinand, he was so convinced that he was going to get the contract for the Tiger, the Tiger 1, that he went off and built 100 chassis and all in anticipation of it. And then it was Mr. Henschel. Yes, Henschel, they got the contract for the Tiger that we know now. And they were wondering, like, they weren't going to waste the chassis and the engines and all that kind of stuff, because they were pretty complicated. They used a lot of man hours, a lot of steel. So they utilised them. And what they did was they built an extra little casement here, and they stuck on a big 88 onto the front of it. A big long barrel 88, which is actually longer barrel 88, a more powerful 88 than the ones that were actually put on the Tiger. themselves, and it was basically used as a tank destroyer. They first saw action in, or should I say they only saw action in the Battle of Kursk. During the Battle of Kursk, then they sort of figured out a couple of little things that were wrong with them and stuff, apart from the engines breaking down and a couple of them going up in flames. But after the Battle of Kursk, what was left were taken back to the factory, and they fixed a lot of the problems that they had with them. They gave them a hull machine gun, they covered up the grills here over the engine, gave them a commander's copula, and a few other little minor fixings, and they renamed it then the Elephant. And a lot of them then saw action in Italy. Quite a lot of them saw action in Italy. They first saw action in Italy actually at Anzio. Yes, the famous Anzio. That's where they first found where they were used. And the Americans captured one in pretty good nick, and that's the one that was on display in the Tank Museum. It was the one that the Americans captured at Anzio. So anyway, that's it for the Ferdinand. Lovely kit. I must actually go off now and get my hands on an Elephant and build that as well, and have them side by side, just so the differences can be seen for myself more than anything else. And I suppose I'll stick it into the video at the end when if I do an Elephant, you can kind of compare the two. So then I started work then on this T90, which is a Russian main battle tank. Again, nice kit. There's some no flash on the thing, so if you've watched the unboxing of it, you've seen the condition of the parts. Are absolutely beautiful, they really are. They're nicely moulded, nice and crisp and everything else. As you can see from the way I do my things, I've got steps 1, 2 and 3 done, so let's have a quick look at them. Sure, why not? We'll do a sneak peek of them, and there you go. And as you can see from that, the moulding in that is absolutely beautiful. It really is. Couple of little minor fit issues with these. There's these covers here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. They're fitted up in from the back. Okay, as you can see here, right? They're fitted in there from the back. Now, once they were fitted in, I got them to fit in. Grand, I got them to fit in, no problem, right? But there was tiny little gaps in the side. When you turned it to the side, you could see a bit of daylight through them. So what I did was I just added a little bit of filler down along the bottom there and up along the sides. Okay, just the tiniest little bit. I used sprue glue for that. Okay, that's the melted sprue with in the Tamiya extra thin. That did the job, and I'm happy with that. Another thing as well is these. I presume they're smoke launchers. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but that was supposed to turn around. And when I glued in this piece here, I must have put in the tiniest bit too much thickening glue, but it's after sealing them, and it's a good job that they're at an angle. They're both at an angle, so I'm happy with that. But they should be able to move around. A little bit more care, due care and attention when you're gluing them. Like I said, I remember doing it. I just put a little bit too much glue on these here. I suppose, sort of with the Tamiya extra tin, just dip it in your brush in, wipe off most of it, and just put a tiny little drop into the actual hole itself here. It's like a little cup. Just put a tiny little drop into the cup and then pop it on. That should actually sort of solve that problem. So if any of you are doing this kit, that's one of the little things to watch out for. But you know, they're not a toy, so you're not going to go playing with it. So the fact that it moves, you know, who cares really? You know, not in a static display. But so far, it seems to be building up to a nice kit so far anyway. And as you can see there from the way it all lines up, it's going to be very nice indeed. And I'm enjoying building that. I really am. Someone said to me there, someone left a comment that they think that I seem to enjoy the painting and the weathering stage more than I do the building. I suppose in a way, yeah, I do kind of like the finish off and how it all kind of comes together. But I do really enjoy the build itself. I really do. I suppose it's a different type of. You get a kind of a different buzz from it. You get a different buzz from when you're building it. You're in a different frame of mind. You're in kind of construction frame of mind. And when it gets close to the finish, then you're just eager to get on with painting of it. And then if the painting works out well and you're happy with that, then you want to get it weathered and the last couple of vehicles I did actually didn't have much weathering. I like kind of I like doing heavy weathering on things, but like with the Ferdinand, I couldn't really have that heavily weathered, purely because the Ferdinands themselves are only used in the one battle, so it wouldn't have been overly weathered, it wouldn't have been overly damaged. Anything that did get damaged kind of basically got blown up, and I didn't want to do it in a blown up stage, so that just had to kind of a bit of natural weathering, just sort of mud and grime more than say rust and things like that. It'll be the same with this, because it's the modern vehicles, they really keep them nice and clean. Granted, when it's out on an exercise and plumping across the open tundra, it will get covered in mud and God knows what else. So what weathering I'm going to give this, I don't know yet. I literally decide as I'm doing it. I mean, I've often said to myself, I remember I did a kit there at one stage, I said I'm going to do the very slight weathering, and for a finish then I had patches blown out of it and it was rusty and everything else. So everything is a work in progress, and you do as you feel. Oh, I want to do this, and just do it. It's your model. Do what you want to do with it. If I want to go off and paint that freaking pink and blue camouflage, make up some camouflage scheme for it, then I can, because it's my kit and nobody can tell me the different. So that's it really, lads, for the update. Stay tuned. I will be doing further updates on the T14. Looking forward to getting really stuck into that. So let's get back up to myself and Abs, and of course Lexi. Lexi is still here. They're very quiet behind me now, thank God. Very quiet indeed. I did threaten them. as in promised them with ice cream if they're good. All right, girls? Yeah. So let's get back up to myself and Abs and Lexi, and we'll finish off this week's BU.M.
We're back.
Yep, they're back, and thank God they stayed quiet while I was doing the update. How, I don't know, because the two of them were there whispering in the corner but didn't come out. So anyway, lads, it's time now to finish up, and it's time for this week's BU.M fruit and BU.M chocolate.
Alright, who goes first?
You go first with the fruit.
Hold.
Okay. The girls will go first with the fruit. This week's BU.M fruit is
bananas. Oh, butter.
What does it say?
Rainforest Alliance.
Rainforest Alliance. Yep, Rainforest
They're
Alliance.
certified bananas.
No, they're
they're
certified by the thing, so they're kind of fair trade bananas.
There's a frog.
Yep. And this week's BU.M chocolate is a Cadbury's Tiffin.
I don't care. I have a sticker.
Like a bit of Tiffin. Tiffin always reminds me of Carrying Up the Khyber. If anybody's watched it, seen that film, then again you've all seen it. Sydney Rough Diamond and a bit of Tiffin.
Would you get
You know
off
what
my
I'm talking
leg?
about. Can't really say it out loud.
I did this all the time.
So anyway, lads, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you all again next Monday for another BU.M. And don't forget to stay tuned to the channel for further updates on the T14 Armata.
Guys.
Oh, she's deadly. She's always messing.
She stuck a sticker into me.
So, like we always say at the end,
Go out, buy yourself a kit, build it, and enjoy it.
just like Abby said. So I'll catch you in the
They
next
don't
one,
really
lads.
need to learn
Stay
that.
safe, enjoy your modelling, and most of all, be nice to each other. Okay? Stay nice out there. Bye.
And stay.
Bye.
Bye.